Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare your ear holes for the best wrestling the hard-hitting wrestling show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Obi Muniz, alongside with Hector, Frank, and Jace. And look, we'll hit it right off the back, but man, what a way to end the Hell in a Cell. We'll get back to you on all the title changes that's going on, especially what happened with the Money in the Bank contract. Who were the upsets? What are our favorites? All the way through. We'll start with the actual first match. We'll go in order. R-Truth was in the kickoff show and defeated Drew Gulak to retain the 24/7 champion. So, congratulations to him. Great match, nice and short, not even 15 minutes into the program, and he got the job done. Then the very first match, was surprisingly was the first match, was Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal title. Now this one had a lot at stake. Who was going to be the chief of the family? You know, you know, I keep getting confused in all this. Maybe it's because I've never been in a situation where, you try to claim the head of the household and stuff like that. But Jace, what was your take on this? And were you satisfied with this match, with Roman Reigns winning the way he did?
Well, it's interesting. I kind of like how they're bringing this culture, the Samoan culture, into the WWE with this type of thing. I think they're kind of going about it the wrong way. I'm interested to see where this goes, but I'm sad. I hope this closes the chapter in the book of this rivalry, and we can move on and see Roman take on a tougher competition. I wasn't expecting a lot from this match, from Clash of Champions, and it did a little bit better than the Clash of Champions match, so I'll give it that. It was all right. Okay way to kick off the show. Nothing special, though.
All right, Frank, you were nodding your head and stuff like displeased.
It's family, man. Family doesn't beat the crap out of family like that, and head of household or however you want to call it, tribal chief, but, it's family. You don't do that. You don't beat the crap out of each other to oblivious, and that's, to me, it's this angle needs to be over with. Okay, he's the tribal leader. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
Hector, your say so on this?
Yeah, I think there's just too much ego, in this, family competition. It wasn't even friendly competition. It's like real competition. And, I think the ego got into Roman Reigns' head. He felt like, I've always been dominant, so I should be called the tribal chief, the patriarch of the family, whatever you want to call it. I think he just let it get to his head, and he hasn't proved us wrong yet. I mean, he's been taking out Jay, and Jimmy's been getting involved and getting the brunt of it too. But yeah, I mean, it was expected though.
In a sense, I mean, I know if we look outside of not being a family issue, and you look at it as, hey, you know what, you're going to be the next man in charge and stuff like that, sometimes that gets over people's head and they think they're better than everyone. And in this case, Roman Reigns, is a lot better than the Usos. But there's one particular person that may put up a challenge there. And I got to say, we may be seeing this in our next WrestleMania. Now, what's your take on this if this should happen?
Hey, I mean, The Rock's the king of Hollywood. And, I mean, It's WrestleMania Hollywood. I'm in for it. I'm down. The real head of that table in that family is The Rock.
Mhm.
And if this is true, and if this is what comes to next WrestleMania, I am all in, and I am 100% down for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm down with that because the fact that how The Rock gave Roman Reigns a hug, supporting him through his stuff, and then having him in the movie, outside WWE, and then to reclaim, you know, which The Rock built. He made a bigger foundations for the whole entire family there. So it'll be great to see. Hopefully, we get more talks about this. But hey, let's move on to the next one. The man that just came back and is no other than Elias. Dude, this guy is my favorite. I've always wanted to see him being the champion. And for how this match ended, it's no surprise that it was a disqualification match. Helen, again, Jeff Hardy with the guitar smacking him. I didn't think it was necessary for this, but it is what it is. It's happened, and this chapter will be ongoing. Sheamus, keyword Sheamus into this. You got Hector, Frank, Big Jace, whatever. You think Sheamus will get involved in this cycle?
I think so too, but I don't think we're going to see the end of Jeff Hardy. I think he let his emotions get the best of him, and who knows? We could see a possibility where he switches sides. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do like Elias. I've always did like him. I just wish they would do something better with him. But I think they're moving forward with that. You know what I mean? Because who would have ever thought to see Jeff Hardy, lose a match like in this fashion? Because he lets his emotion gets the better of him. But yeah, I like the way they're going with this. I think it's going to turn out to be a good thing down the road.
Well, let you talk about emotions. Look at the paint job that he's been doing lately now that he's on Raw. I expect him to get even more evil and maybe a possibility of him being with the Fiend. I'm just saying.
He has spoken
Nemo,
about that.
what is it, Brother Nemo? It was
Right.
right.
So you remember on SmackDown when he went at the final match with Sheamus, that character came out of him so he could beat Sheamus. Now he's reintroducing it now purely on Raw. So that's a little hint. I know this rivalry ain't gonna be in. I still believe that it wasn't his fault. I'm still in denial when it comes to Sheamus being the guilty party. All right, but hey, I'll let the story ride and see what happens there. But hey, to me, I'd rather see a winner and a loser. But I felt like this girl right here. Now, those of you that have seen this before, you know exactly which way I'm going with this, and there's no other than The Miz
The Miz.
becoming the Money in the Bank winner once again by defeating Otis. And surprisingly, I never saw this coming. Maybe I should have if I pay attention more to this segment. But yeah, still the champ. And you look at this picture here. Tucker just went behind his partner's back like that. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless when it comes to this.
I think we should have expected this. The Miz been in the WWE for over 14 years. We've known his antics, his little schemes, and how he gets what he wants his way. We should have seen it. I think we just had a lot of high hopes for Otis, in the Money in the Bank. But the Miz has proven that, he's Money in the Bank worthy. He's proven it in the past, and we'll see what he does now with it.
Hey, I love Otis way too much to just give up right now. I'm in denial. I'm in complete total denial. Otis says he keeps his contract in his lunchbox. Look right there. Miz is holding up the briefcase. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But like real talk, I kind of get a feeling of like a Mandy and like Sonya vibe from Tucker and Otis, which it's kind of weird.
Why do you think that maybe because he's jealous because of Rose and him, and everything else. I mean, he
Oh,
did give a
definitely.
point that this was heavy machinery, right? And I believe, and I had thought that maybe that Otis will make history by cashing in the Money in the Bank on a World Tag Team title. That didn't happen, and now everything's self-centered to Otis, and Tucker's jealous because he doesn't feel like part of the group. But the way he did it, I mean, I didn't see any signs that Tucker was so displeasing, So that was good him. But we have to thank this guy right here, all right, JBL, for making this match happen. I know, Jace, you're not a big fan of it, but this is the true Law and Order into this. All right, but hey, can we see a repeat of the Miz cashing in the Money in the Bank at Randy Orton? What do you think, Frank?
I'm sorry, I kind of lost you there because my internet. So I have no idea what you just said.
All right, fair enough. So we'll get to you, Hector. Do you see a repeat?
History tends to repeat itself, and I guess this could be the possibility. But I don't think we've seen the last of Drew McIntyre, though. I mean, he's going to get in the mix of this. He's going to want his rematch, and who knows? We could see it somewhere down the line. That it's going to be interesting, though. Yeah, I think it can happen. I think it will happen. I think that's just Randy Orton's way of just helping set up the Miz and maybe McIntyre. Who knows?
Right. And the one thing that the Miz had stated was that he's putting the Universal title and the WWE Championship on notice, but he is on Raw. So for him to say that and stuff like that, I will assume that he'll cash in again for the second time at Randy Orton, and it will be more of an obstacle for Drew McIntyre to be able to get his hands back on that title. I'm not saying it's impossible, but what a perfect way for him to get it back again, WrestleMania, with fans to have that glory. All right, but more to follow on that. Then we have the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Sasha Banks. I mean, I was not disappointed with the outcome of this match. Either way, it didn't matter. This is the match that left everybody in suspense, like who could actually win it. And if you were confident, 100% confident that Sasha Banks was going to win or that Bayley was going to win, you're lying to yourself, because this is that one match you didn't know who was going to win. It was 50-50 all the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, hey, congratulations, Sasha Banks. For the first time, she is holding the SmackDown Women's Championship. And overall, she becomes a 6-time world champion. So your thoughts on this? We'll go in Frank, Jason, Hector. What's your take on this?
I think it was a great match overall. I think these two women put it down in Hell in a Cell, and the blue brand, the blue hair, the blue belt, it all matches Sasha Banks. The boss is cashed in and she's got it.
I love it when I said Frank and Hector comes out of nowhere. It's all good, though. Frank is still silent. He might have some internet issues again.
I do. I'm going in and out. But to speak about this match real quick, this was, to me, by far the best match of Hell in a Cell.
I mean, that could be debatable. I still feel as though Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks last year was better, but I'm just saying, like, it had its action. I wasn't disappointed. It was full of action, not as a drag that it was in the main event and at the beginning of the match with Roman Reigns, but definitely this was, in my opinion, the number one match tonight. You agree, Jace?
Yeah, the one thing, like, I wish they would have gone up top. That would have just made it that much better. And that's probably what would have put it over the Becky and Sasha battle from last year.
So if they would have made it to the top and wrestle and maybe jump off the 20-foot steel, I mean, if that would have happened, we still would have seen this result right here.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how this plays out. We've talked about it before on this show. Sasha Banks doesn't have, like, big title reigns. I don't expect her to have a long title reign after this. I do feel that this is a match that needs to continue to WWE. I mean, to WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania fits it perfectly, but I do see something happening. Maybe Sasha loses it, has to take a break for a while, and comes back at the Royal Rumble or something like that. Something like that playing out to set this up for WrestleMania. But this feud is not over, and I think it will last at least till WrestleMania.
Well, I'm glad that you point that out, Jace, because again, she is a 6-time world champion, 5 times on Raw, first time holding the belt on SmackDown. The biggest question is how long will she hold that title? She doesn't have a good resume when it comes to this. As a matter of fact, this is probably her first big win in the pay-per-view event. You know, her battles with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were unsuccessful, but she was able to capture the gold during a Monday Night Raw segment. Now she's on SmackDown, wins her first world champion on a pay-per-view event, but she's never held the title more than 28 days. That is a concern. And look, 28 days later, we have the Survivor Series pay-per-view. What's going to happen there? I mean, a lot of people are predicting that it'll be a triple threat match with all the brands in place. So how do you feel this picture right here? Could this match happen?
That'll be an awesome match. You know, to see Io Shirai and Asuka actually go at it, that'll be awesome to see. I think that would be a great match for Survivor Series.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, yeah. I will pick Asuka, my favorite out of the 3. But all 3 of them well-deserved champions. But who knows? Because there's always that curveball that's thrown into us. And just like The Miz and Otis, we may see these 3, or maybe one of them might not be champion by the time we get to Survivor Series. But, hey, the next match, the United States Championship, was defended. Bobby Lashley did not disappoint. Got the full Nelson. And then, hey, this is going to be the battle for Survivor Series. The Hurt Business versus the Retribution. Now, it seems like the Hurt Business has been on top as of late, but that must be a setup for the Retribution. And I don't think that you get the Retribution, you know, formed up the way it did just for them to lose. Oh, Hector, what's your take on this?
Yeah, because I think it was kind of premature when they lost, you know, that match on Raw and everything. So I think, you know, it would be good setup for Survivor Series, and I think Retribution would have maybe had the upper hand right there.
All right.
You think Retribution has the upper hand in a Survivor Series match? Well, I don't know, man.
I believe so because, look, Retribution did have big numbers. We haven't seen everybody yet. So, you know, did they narrow it down just to 4 people? I mean, I know there were more guys than girls on this. So, and then again, at the same time for Retribution, are we going to see the females actually get on the platform and wrestle in the women's division on Raw or SmackDown?
I love that you brought that up because I think the fact that we saw The Fiend last Monday, I think this upcoming Monday we might see something with Alexa Bliss and Mia Yim. That could be something, seeing as how we had The Fiend interfere with Retribution. But as far as Survivor Series go, I'm in for that. I don't think the Retribution has the upper hand because the Hurt Business is what's best for business right now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but they always have that obstacle. Like they're on top one month, they go down the next month, and I don't know, but we'll be interested to see MVP go against Mustafa Ali on a one-on-one match. That would be great.
MVP will lose.
But my bet will be on Mustafa Ali on that one. Sorry,
sir.
Yeah,
for sure.
MVP had his time already. And then let's go to our main event right here. Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre defending his title with Randy Orton. And yes, it did happen. Randy Orton RKO's Drew McIntyre to become the 14th time world champion. And look, I've always defended Randy Orton so many times, man. And at one time that I go against him and he does this to me. Come on, man. Come on. You know, I'll be bragging about, Randy Orton, his time. I mean, this almost was a duplicate to Kofi Kingston, you know. And the last time he had, I don't know if it was called Hell in a Cell or something that he was going against. Oh, what was his name? Jinder Mahal, right? And he was climbing up that whatever that thingamajigger was, and
Oh, the
then the Big
Punjabi
Khali. There you
match.
go. Big Khali comes out of nowhere and slaps him around. So I was like, come on, man. And then I was thinking if Randy Orton will whip Drew's ass so bad and Drew wins, that the Miz will come and cash it in right away and call it what it is. But nope, never happened that way. And here we are, Randy Orton. Congratulations to him. Now, with him being champion, he might go babyface again because the Miz is looking for him, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a repeat.
Yeah, I think so. Because it will be kind of hard for him to be here with the champ. Especially, we still got the Fiend laying around. You got the Miz, so it will be kind of hard. But then I don't know. He might just play the tweener role, because Drew McIntyre is going to go after him. So he's just stuck in the middle of both worlds. So he just got to go out there and defend the championship like he has done before.
Right. You're absolutely right. And I don't know. I like Drew being the heel, man. I think he does better as a heel. You do, Chase?
Yeah, you're right. I like him as a heel. It didn't feel right. Like, it was great. He had his WrestleMania moment, but he never really resonated with me as a face. I don't see Randy turning face because Money in the Bank contract can get cash in whenever, so it isn't really like a feud. But I mean, there's still Keith Lee in the fold, who's tied up with who has a win over Randy Orton, so I could see him getting in the picture. Also, Drew is gonna want the rematch, so I could see a lot of different ways as this goes, and I'm excited to see I'm excited for this new life to be brought into that WWE Championship division.
Well, Javon Claire thinks the RKO still sucks, and he might have this face right here. So, but he does believe that the Miz will be the next champion. I believe it too, man. I said it before. If you're tuning in now, I'll show you that picture right there. Here we go. This could possibly happen one more time, and I'm gonna save this picture to when that happens, man. And I'd be like, hey, I told you here on HSW Show podcast, this is gonna be a duplicate.
You want my prediction? This doesn't happen again. Keith Lee beats Randy Orton for the title, and then The Miz cashes in on Keith Lee that same day. Keith Lee is like a champ for 3 seconds.
So he's doing a Roman Reigns. That's a huge prediction right there, man. Huge prediction. One more. The Miz is one of the biggest and most deserving stars in WWE right now. Yeah, pretty so. He's been successful not only in the ring, but the supporting cast for these new guys that are coming in. And on top of that, he has his own show on the USA Network. A phenomenal job that he's doing and being a parent at the same time. I mean, his hands are full on this one, so he is deserving. But man, the way he's doing it right now. One more comment there. Roman sucks as a champ. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I tell you right now, I am more interested to see if this storyline will develop for The Rock to come back with one more match and to see who is the real true leader, in that tribal clan there. But hey, still more to come on this. Again, Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the HSW Show podcast. Once again, we're going current events, takeaways, and stuff like that. Also, check out the SCW Wrestling channel on YouTube. He has a discussion coming up. As a matter of fact, 25 minutes ago, he posted this. Ask SCW when he talks about other independent wrestlings. And his biggest topic is, should WWE bring back general managers? And that's also the question that we're bringing back on the HSW show this Tuesday. Should we have a general manager on Raw and SmackDown. You know, NXT, they have William Regal still doing that general manager job. So why not Raw and SmackDown have somebody? There's got to be a leader somewhere to drive these matches in there. You know, some conflicts here and there. I think that's what's best for business. I'm not saying that the authority should be in it, but someone got to be dictating on what's going on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we're doing okay without it right now. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt if we have it, but it seems like every time we get a general manager, they just hold that title for a while, then they get fired. So why even be a general manager?
I like the idea of general managers. We basically do have it with Aiden Pierce on Raw. I'd like to see him get like an official title, and then some like legend come back and be it for SmackDown. It's cool. It's a great way to interact with legends, and I don't dislike it. I'm always for it, but I'm okay with how things are going right now. So I can take it or leave it, but I prefer it.
All right. Well, we're gonna save most of that Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Again, the HHW Show podcast. One more comment that this guy made, Javon Clear made. Hopefully, I've said your name, Javon, correctly. You guys watch FSW in Vegas. We watch all kinds of independent wrestling. Not saying we're diehard on monitoring every single one. However, I know they're online as well as MLW, especially also these Southern independent wrestlers that we follow that already have partook in our show. But to give you all the storylines on that, we're mostly dedicated to WWE with their storyline and the takeaway in which what we could learn from their storyline and what's going on in our real world. And again, this Tuesday, we got a lot to talk about, all these development storylines that's coming. Please stick around. But hey, you guys, thank you for being with us. Again, Tuesday, and again, go to clovercrestmedia.com to hear all the other podcast shows out there. There's over 20 shows going on. Whatever's your taste is there. And I like to tell you guys also that, yes, our podcast is now on Amazon. So please check us out there. All you go is tell Alexa, hey, play HSW Show podcast, and pat out. There you go. But I always wanted to say that. But you guys, any last words, guys?
No, I think this was pretty good, for a pay-per-view. I know we didn't have a lot of matches, but the matches that we had was a great impact. We had 2 title changes, so I think that keeps things interesting now when Raw and SmackDown comes. But I'm looking forward to Halloween Havoc to see what's going on with that way.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, man, because that's also our prediction this Tuesday to see what's going on in NXT for the Halloween Havoc. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you. Jace, one more before we go.
I'm excited. This was great. I'm excited to see some chapters close and see where the WWE goes from here.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. And once again, visit hhwshow.com and also clovercrestmedia.com for the latest news, updates, rumors, and everything going on in the wrestling community. I'm Ovi Muniz. Hector, Big J's, thank you. I'll see you Tuesday.
Visit the HHWShow.com sportscast where you can find all the news, rumors, updates, and predictions from the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, all 4 downs, join about the G-Men, and keys to the city. If you ever want to do a podcast, this is the place to do it. Starting at $15 a month, you can get unlimited hosting and $50 a month for the full package. Visit clovercrestmedia.com for more information.
A big thank you to the StreamYard for their fine streaming service. On behalf of HHW crew, I am Ovi Muniz. Thank you for listening to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show.